Hi, everyone. My name is Melanie Famicletti, and I'm from the Hartford here. So I have some slides that I want to share with everyone just to give you a better idea about the Hartford, what we offer in terms of career opportunities for actuaries here, helping them progress through their career. So I have about, 15 minutes or so of content, and we'll definitely leave some time at the end for any questions. So I will jump right in then if that sounds good. So formal introduction, like I said, my name is Melanie Famicletti. I am currently a director on the commercial auto pricing team that we have here. And I've been with the Hartford for quite some time. So I started right out of school in 2013, been here for 10 years. My background is a little different. So I didn't study actuarial science in school, and I'm a bit of a career changer. So when I joined the Hartford, I started in the personal lines marketing department. And then 3 years later, kind of found actuarial science and joined our actuarial leadership development program, or what we call the ALDP, in 2016. And so I've held several roles in pricing and reserving throughout my time in the program. And I recently graduated from the program at the end of 2021 when I achieved my FCAS in December. And in addition to that, I also lead one of our pillars in our actuarial DE&I council, which I'll get into a little bit. And through some of that work, I've had the ability to become a member of the CAC here at IABA. I live now in Portland, Oregon, so I just recently relocated here. So I am fully remote at the Hartford, but prior to that, my full career was in the Hartford, Connecticut office, which is where the ALDP and actuarial program is based out of. So that's a little bit about myself. So if we jump to the Hartford, so the Hartford's been around for quite some time. We were founded in 1810, and over the past 200 years, we've really grown and have worked to provide insurance solution and products to both individuals, so our personal line segment, and businesses as well. So we have some numbers here to give you an idea of our size and how things break down in terms of our premiums, but we are, a Fortune 500 company and a top leader of P&C insurance as well as group benefits. So you can see here specifically P&C, as I mentioned, we have our personal lines business, which is a smaller portion. So that's like your personal auto, home, renters policies, and then a large portion of our P&C business is really the commercial kind of business side of things. So commercial auto, which the segment I work in, workers' comp, your small business owners policies, things like that. Beyond the products and the customer service that we provide our customers, the Hartford really does pride ourselves on that, we are widely recognized as a company that has sustainable practices, and, we are an ethical company that really acts with integrity. And so there's some awards here that kind of point to that on the slide. Along those lines, I am really proud to work for a company that, goes beyond just the insurance products that we provide. So the Hartford really does make an effort to have a positive impact on our surrounding community. So just a couple examples here of the programs that we have available to really connect with our local community. And, you can definitely look these up if you're interested on the hartford.com website. But one thing that I really want to highlight that I really like each year is that the Hartford does give every employee some company paid volunteer hours. So definitely encourages all of our employees and our teams to reach out to organizations, food banks, shelters, and volunteer some time there. So it's also a great networking opportunity that we do in actuarial, where our team will go out and just spend some time together volunteering and getting to know each other better. So I really enjoy that aspect of the company. In terms of our diversity, equity, and inclusion, so, the Hartford is committed and continues to be committed to, building a really diverse workforce and just nurturing an inclusive environment for all of our employees. So there is a lot of different initiatives and programs that we have that really put DE&I into action here at the Hartford. I'm just highlighting two here. So one of them is our employee resource group. So we have some of them listed down below. So this is a great way for folks who identify with these groups or allies of these groups. Everyone can come together. We encourage folks within actuarial, within the ALDP, to join these, become a member, and really engage in the activities that the employees run for these groups throughout the year. Additionally, as I mentioned, we have our actuarial DE&I council. So there are several DE&I councils across the Hartford. So it's really cool that we actually have one here within actuarial that allows us just to, continue to hold ourselves accountable and make sure that we are developing that inclusive culture here that we stand by at the Hartford. One of the pillars that I work on, which is really cool, is that we're really focused on, breaking down barriers to entry within the actual profession within the Hartford, but also out within the industry. So my pillar specifically will look to partner with organizations such as IABA so that we continue to tackle those barriers. And so there's just a couple other organizations here as an example of ones that we are currently supporting and volunteering with. So this is a great way. On my pillar, I do have students in the ALDP who, are on the council. So they're in there helping create initiatives for actuarial, but there's also a lot of ways to get involved volunteer wise outside of being on the council if you are in the ALDP. Okay, so now I'm going to shift into, what are some of the opportunities we have here at the Hartford for students and folks looking to get into a career within actuarial science or within the insurance industry. So I'm going to start with two programs that are really geared towards students that are early in their academic career. So one of them is the freshman experience program. So as the name suggests, this is really geared towards freshman students. And so this is a program that goes on during winter break. It's a half day. We have students come in. And really the goal of this program is to have students start to think about, what classes should I be taking? If there's a particular career I want to go towards, what is my personal brand? How do you really prep for recruiting and thinking about what are those future internships that I need and experience I need to get to my first kind of entry level role? So a lot of personal branding and working on the recruiting aspects during this program. The second program is the early immersion program. And so this is really geared towards sophomores. And so this is kind of taking your next steps in terms of preparation for an internship. So this is a 3-day program during the summer where we'll have our sophomores come in and they will get exposure to different facets of, the Hartford and the insurance industry. So we have students meeting with actuarial, we have students meeting with underwriters, claims, and all while going through some career development workshops as well. So really just trying to get them prepared to take that first internship. And so what's neat about this program is that any student that participates in this 3-day program will then have the ability to sit for an interview for an internship in the following year. So students coming in this 2023 summer will be able to interview for a 2024 internship next year, which is cool. And so that gets me to, one of the programs that we have within the ALDP is our actuarial summer internship program. So I'm going to spend some time talking about that now. So on the right-hand side here, this is a picture of the 2022 interns that we had with us last summer here in actuarial. So we usually have about 15 to 20 interns, and there are opportunities to take on a role throughout the different lines of business here. So I mentioned, you could pursue a life role within group benefits, as well as, a pricing or reserving role within one of our P&C lines. So there's a lot of different roles that are usually open to fill for interns. So this is a 10 to 11 week program. It's 5 days a week in person. And so we do cover the housing for all of our in-person internships. And really what I would say the goal here for this internship is just to give a student the ability to start to see, okay, what is the work that an actuary does on a daily basis? So our interns will come in, we'll put them on a team, and over those 10 weeks, the intern should be, just learning about what is the products that the team manages and who are their business partners, just starting to learn kind of what are the roles that an actuary plays within a business. What's also cool is that we give each of our interns an individual project that they'll work on from the start throughout the summer. And so this is, a real industry business type problem that a team needs the intern to solve. So they get to work and collaborate with folks on their team and outside to come up with some solution and be able and then present that at the end of the summer. So, while that student is working on the project and getting to know kind of the roles on their team, there's also training that we provide our interns. So there is an R technical training that interns can go through. There's also training that's more general actuarial and insurance knowledge. So we have a foundational insurance course that the interns will do one day, as well as understanding, what is involved with the reserving role as an actuary and pricing. So just trying to give our interns as much exposure to actuarial and technical skills as possible throughout those 10 weeks. There's a lot of networking opportunities as an intern and in a lot of guidance that you'll be given as well. So on top of the manager that you'll work with throughout the summer, we also do pair our interns with ALDP full-time student. So just someone else who can give them another perspective, share their experience in their full-time role, and provide guidance throughout the summer. And then, so just want to highlight also that, on top of the work that you're doing during the internship, there's also a lot of social events where you can continue to network your fellow interns, as well as reach out to other folks throughout actuarial. So on the left-hand side is just an example of one of our team building events that our ALDP Fund Committee does. So this is a committee made up of students in the ALDP, and they will host events throughout the summer for interns to get involved with, as well as for our full-time students throughout the year. So they're just social, kind of outside the Hartford events to take a break from studying and work, etc. So this was a local minor league baseball team, the Hartford Yard Goats. So every summer, that's an event where the interns and some actuarial students can go and watch a ball game. Another event that we like to do over the summer is there is an actuarial wide picnic. So everyone in actuarial is invited to a local park. It's just a fun day of food and networking and playing games. And all of our actuarial leaders do go to this. So it's a great way for interns and ALDP students to get some networking in with our actuarial leaders as well. Okay, so I'm going to now move into, this is my final slide, but I will start to talk about, the full time ALDP program and what we offer our students to get them to achieve their accreditation and become a well-rounded actuary at the end of the program. So, what's cool about our program is that it spans both the life and P&C actuary. So we are actually one cohesive program. So with that, when we think about the rotational program, students have the ability to do a rotation in a more life oriented role versus a P&C. So if a student comes in and they aren't sure exactly what track you want to do, you have the ability to see both. And our rotations usually last about 18 months. They can vary from 12 to 24 months, but really we try to, just have students come in, learn as much as they can, and then be able to go on to their next one to continue to build a skill set before you finish your exam. So I really enjoyed the rotational aspect of the program. It's kind of what drove me to pursue it. I liked having the ability to see a different line of business, a different product, different management style, et cetera. So I really think that helped with my development throughout the program. So, the ultimate goal is, like I said, to really create a well-rounded actuary, and that rotational program allows you to do so. In terms of the exam support, so like I said, because we are one program supporting both life and P&C students can study for both the life and P&C accreditation. So you can choose one of those tracks and get support through the exams for either one. So all of our students get 130 hours of study hours per exam. And then the financial support is your exam fees are covered, and as well as the study manual and like an online service, such as like a TIA. Those are covered for you as well. I will say, beyond just the study time and the financial support that you get from this program, what I really enjoyed the most was the community within the ALDP. So right now it's about 110 plus students. And so it's a great source of support. So there's, 100 of other students that are going through the same exam process. They understand, the troubles and pain with doing that. So it's a great way to connect and find support as you're going through that exam process. And one thing I'll highlight is we do have designated exam coordinators. So at the beginning of each study season, you'll have a student or someone who's successfully passed that exam reach out to you, give you tips on, what study materials are the best to use, what type of schedule they used, and, you can have kind of group study sessions as well. So there's that support available to all of our students as well. And so then the last piece I want to talk about is, as I mentioned, here at the Hartford, we recognize that, the exams is just one piece of becoming a successful actuary. So really the career development is what we try to also get our students to focus on as they're going through the program and building both that non-technical and technical skill set that you need to get yourself to that next level and become an actuarial leader. So we have a lot of different programs and committees that allow our students to get some of the soft skills, such as, presentation skills, networking, et cetera. But one program I want to highlight is our actuarial leadership training program. So This is a program that it runs every 6 months. And so there's about, 5 or 6 courses every 6 months that a student can choose between to help you kind of work on a skill outside of, just doing things in your daily kind of role. So like I said, there's, process improvement courses, there's the presentation courses, just the courses you need to kind of build those soft skills to become a well-rounded actuary. And then on the technical side of things, we do have a very robust technical training. So every new hire that comes into the Hartford will have the ability to go through that 6-week R training course to get you up to speed, as well as cover some of the reserving pricing topics that I talked about for the internships. In addition to that, if there are folks who are interested in learning modeling or more advanced statistical methods, there is another technical training that students can take as well. So I think that's a pretty good overview of what the resources that we have available for our actuaries here. So I will pause to see if there are any questions.
Hi, Melanie. So one question. So for the ALDP, that whole program, would you need to be in Hartford, Connecticut for that program?
That's a good question. So in terms of being in person, we are requiring that when you come in as a new hire and you're here for your first rotation, we do want you to have your first rotation in Hartford, Connecticut. We do feel that, that's the best way to start to build relationships with other students that are, in the program, as well as your business partners. After your first rotation, that's a conversation you can have with your manager. If there's personal reasons that require you to be fully remote, as I am fully remote, you can definitely have those conversations and do that as need be. But for the first rotation, we do require students to be in person in Hartford. Any other questions? Okay. If not, definitely encourage you, if anything I've said here, piques your interest. We have, 2 life students next week at the career fair. They'll be at our booth. And we also have a fellow graduate of the PNC kind of track, ALDP, who's also part of leading the ALDP. So he will be there as well. So if you have questions, please feel free to come and ask those. Oh, it actually looks like I do have one question. I see a hand raised there. I don't think I can't hear you. Do you want to put your question in the chat if I can't hear you? Okay, so the question is, does the Hartford offer sponsorships? So good question. Unfortunately, right now, the Hartford does not offer visa sponsorship. So in terms of being eligible for our internships and our full-time roles, you'd have to be someone who's, based in the US and doesn't require sponsorships. Good question. Any other questions? Okay, so like I said, please come see us at our booth next week. If you're interested to see kind of what's available in terms of recruiting, we are in an off season right now. We normally are recruiting for internships starting in August, but we do have some full-time roles on our website. So if you go to thehartford.com/careers and search actuarial, you can see what's available now.
Thank you, Melanie.
Thank you very much. Hope everyone has a nice day.